Welcome to Dirty Blonde, the podcast. The podcast where sophistication will meet seduction and the art of being a modern gentleman is hopefully to be perfected. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, you're going to just have to go to another room because this season, it's for the guys. Welcome, darlings, to the new season of Dirty Blonde, your ultimate guide to being the best modern gentleman you can be. I'm your host, Bridgette B. This season, I am going to fill you up with secrets to spice up your nights, and each episode is going to be crafted to transform you into the best and true modern gentleman that I know you were born to be. Sit back and just dive into a world that meets yours and mine. I promise you, this season of Dirty Blonde, it's for you. Let's get dirty, gentlemen. All right, let's start with the fun stuff. What you're here for, the fantasies. The perfect, steamy, no-holds-barred scenarios we just play in our heads over and over and over again. Within reason, of course. But when we go into fantasy land in our bedroom, those scenarios that we play in our head, and we're talking about the 50 Shades of level here, people. You know, who here hasn't fantasized about that hot neighbor or the mysterious stranger at the bar? I have. Picture this. You are in an exotic location. There's a full moon. The night is just starting, and so is the adventure. You're wearing your best gentleman outfit. And then bang! The perfect hot encounter happens. No awkwardness, no interruptions, just seamless, endless passion and raw sex all over there on the beach. All the sand getting in your face, all the sand getting in all your holes. And then you put on your pants, you go back into the hotel, you go back to work. It's safe to say that that little scenario is very much, in fact, fantasy. Very much, in fact, part of the lives of people such as Johnny Sins, Kieran Lee, Manuel Ferrara, back in the day, Mandingo, and all the cool cats of the days. And, you know, me, Cherie DeVille, you know, Alexis Fox, like Nikki Benz, Phoenix Marie. This is part of our days. Why? Because we're porn stars, right? And that is part of what we do for work. I enjoy foreplay. Rule number one for me. And I'm giving away secrets of a lot of us females. Of course, this program is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. I enjoy foreplay. One of the biggest differences that has been on set versus at home is that so much of what makes the movie great is what we are assuming you as our viewer and our watcher wants to see. Have we done a disservice to you? I don't know. I hope not. I've always wanted to be a part of the solution and not the problem. But as experience has led me into the industry that I fully love and have absolutely no regrets on and owe an entire life of, when you are talking to others at expos, at the AVN in Las Vegas, and the fans, and you hear the great stories, but then you go on Reddit or you go on Instagram and then you see how the other half of America that doesn't go to the strip clubs, that doesn't enjoy watching adult films because they one reason or another, and that's completely their prerogative. I keep my private life private, as we all know. So as far as you all know right now, we're going to talk about all relationships in the past. Not talking about current or lack thereof or maybe or whatever. I'm going to speak from past experiences so that I could at least continue to have a dating life
And all names shall be changed, of course. Now, moving on. When I really stress the fact that to remember going into an initial date, initial relationship, and courting the girl, and we really want that foreplay. Like I said earlier, I love it. And it would be nice for the person that I am with to realize that even me as a porn star, they're not going to get Bridgette B. What I do in private has absolutely nothing to do with what I've done on camera. Wrapping your head around that can be difficult, I'm sure. But that's just as simple as fantasy and reality. So as viewers or even connoisseurs of adult films and how much it's changed also, I know that a major draw into so many of your websites is the fact that they are voyeur. Bang Brothers has been doing amazingly on that. H3 Latinas, who doesn't love that? And we started getting more voyeuristic, where now the lines definitely got a little bit crossed. And in a culture where sex is still not really spoken on the way it does in adult film land, when you tell someone that you were watching Mary have sex with her, husband and, I don't know, milkman. Okay, that's a scenario. Well, the odds of that happening on a normal basis is 0 to 1. And I mean 0 to like -1 million. The norm is what keeps us going on in our daily lives to be able to procreate, to be able to have a healthy dating life, etc. And the fantasies that you watch allow you to sort of fill in those gaps, because the average girl won't do that. The average. And we're going to continue on with this season. What do I consider average? I'm not average. And I'm going to tell you from my experience. I'm going to let you in. I'm going to tell you, because I want to create more men out there who know exactly what it is that we're wanting and looking for. Have you ever tried to pull off that smooth move in bed or on the couch, and you just come out looking like a complete clums? You're embarrassed. You just want the earth to eat you up and keep you in. Or maybe you knocked something over in the heat of that moment. Holy shit. That awkward reality does happen. And either you're going to melt into a puddle of laughter, or you are going to die. And then the awkward apology happens, because let's go back to our 50 Shades of Grey, because it seems like it's the one topic that everyone knows. Not everyone knows about browsers, and I have to be mindful of that. Do you really think that our Christian Grey ever stepped on a squeaky toy, or let's just say it, made a fart noise when he went into that dungeon to get Anastasia? No, he didn't, because it's a movie. Already, that completely false, because I, on set, am as much of a disaster as I am in my everyday, but it's a little bit more tamed. With those high heels, can you blame me? But I want to keep the fantasy going so that my actor is in the moment, and farting on set, that would make me want to have the earth swallow me up. So what do I do before that? I take 2 diarrheal, is that the word? Or 2 anti-gas pills. That's all. take 2 of those. And that's so that on set, I can be a little bit more comfortable. Do I do that in everyday life? Absolutely not. And once that expectation can be removed, then when it does happen, and coming from your female source, what I want you to do if an accident happens while we're in bed, while we're in private, I would love for you to just make me laugh out of it. Please. You better pull out a Joy Coy, you better pull out a Cat Williams, Seinfeld, Bert, Matt Rife, someone you better come out with a 10-minute monologue and make me crack up so that I can forget that I just did something that I wasn't supposed to. If you let me leave that personal space that we're in feeling that way, I will guarantee you I will never call you again. Never call you again. As the modern gentleman that I would love for you to be and that you're aiming to be, instead of making her feel like shit or instead of going, oh, fuck no, getting the ick, you bring it back to her, make her feel that it's safe, that it happens. Make it as funny as you can while being natural. And then just grab her by the back of the neck and just kiss her one more time. Have you wondered why it's easier to tell someone your Starbucks order than to say, baby, I'd love it if you just whispered dirty shit in my ear? Really? Why? And I'll tell you what, Starbucks gives me the biggest and greatest anxiety that I have ever wished on anyone. Never have I been to a certain place ever in my life where I have so many decisions to make in 0.02 seconds. And if you don't make them, everyone behind you is wishing death on you and you're getting a ticket on your car. But I digress. For someone to not feel and be able to tell you, baby, I'd love it if you just said this, is a problem. I have never felt more comfortable and more wanting to not only satisfy him, but it allows me to satisfy myself because I'm getting exactly what I want within reason, boundaries, people. But how lovely to just have open dialogue. I mean, you want to turn a fantasy into a reality? You want to turn a little something that you saw maybe that could be doable? Spill the fucking beans. Sit down with your partner and have a no judgment talk about your desires. Trust me, it'll make things less awkward. Before every single movie gets filmed in the city, state, anywhere in the United States of America, we have to go through a lengthy paperwork process in the very beginning. You come in, you show your IDs, and whatever, depending on the company, either you're doing it in front of video or you're taking pictures, what have you, your driver's license, all your information, you sign your life away, and you go through a detailed list of do's and don'ts between you and your partner. So there is not a single movie out that you cannot say has had an intense, now each one does it differently, but in the very beginning, I know exactly what my partner wants and vice versa. There are no mysteries. That's not what we're about on set. Now, that's a catch-22 at home because it's finding out the mysteries that makes it exciting. But that is why on set, we're just in and out. I don't care. I don't care if you don't like this. I don't care if you don't like that in your personal life. If you're willing to get paid for it, that's a wrap. And the fact that you give me consent on camera, that's a wrap. It's our job. It's what we're there to get paid for. So as long as you're telling me your consent on camera and all is well, that's all I care about. Fourth or fifth date, I think it's appropriate to start being like, so are you the submissive or the dominant type? No, just. And finally, let's just embrace the beauty of imperfection, that reality isn't about these choreographed pile driver moves, that it's raw, it's real, it's yours, it's mine. It's the quirks and the giggles that make these intimate experiences memorable. I, on the other hand, embraced a character and I love her, but realizing that one is not in the same, because when I'm home, I'm not going to have those high heels all the time. I mean, if I get asked nicely, but those are perks. But that's just me. There's another girl down the street who'll do it 24 hours a day. And there's another girl down the street who won't do it ever. And it's up to you, while you're learning about us, to keep these things in mind and just do a little mental check-off list. This is what she likes, this is what she doesn't like, because you're actually listening. And once we recover from the silly fart that we did in the beginning, once we laugh off, stepping on dirty underwear that we left from 2 days ago while we're trying to zip tie you, once we get past all that and we're in bed cuddling and you're scratching my head and I'm scratching your chest, that's where the recovery happens, and that is where the real intimacy happens. So what have we learned today? We've learned to keep the fantasies alive, but adapt them to your reality. Each one gets adapted to the person you're with, the situation you're in, because as a modern gentleman, you are thinking ahead and you are being mindful and not just giving in to what you've seen when it has been overly choreographed and sketched out even. I kid you not, we get sketches sometimes. Oh, totally. Anyway, and literally enjoy every wild and whimsical and just wonderfully awkward second of it. That is how you build your relationships, and that is what a woman like me basically strives for. Thank you so much for tuning in to From Fantasy to Reality, Bedroom Expectations Uncensored, right here on the season 4 of the Dyrty Blonde podcast. Until next time, baby, keep it wild, keep it real.
Remember to subscribe and leave a review. Stay dirty.